weak and getting sicker. The Earth's magnetic field is growing stronger. Satellites are falling from the sky. Earthquakes are getting more frequent. Famines are becoming more and more frequent. And now we have credible reports of a new deadly virus sweeping through Asia. Is that fucking coronavirus? Did they predict the coronavirus? Oh my god, Assassin's Creed does it again, boys. Does it again. I can feel like we're living through Yeltsin nightmare. Don't know what that is. I guess it's like some famous plague or some shit. Me anarchy is loosened upon the world in many ways. We are, but there is hope. There is a cure. Us. In a few months, we have come across something that may help us resolve our most pressing problems. Promising message that may help us reverse the dire course we are on. If you want to be part of the solution, join us. If not, wish you the best of luck. So I don't think they're asking to join the Assassin Brotherhood because she was already a part of the Brotherhood. She was already part of a cell at least in Odyssey. However, I'm not 100% sure if it was a cell of the Brotherhood or if it was like a cell of the Initiates, because actually no, because what's her name that recruited the Initiate in Unity or whatever, what is her name, Bishop, she had no contact in us in AC Origins and Odyssey. So what I feel like this is the specific cell of Sean Hastings and not actually the Order. It's just like join us, like it's the, you know, special cell or whatever. That's what I think that is. Rami Hassan. From Rami to Layla. Oh shit, did my internet cut out? Did my internet cut out? Oh my god, it fucking cut out. No, I was going so good too today, man. Fuck, dude. Just gonna wait till it comes back. Oh, not back yet. Hang on. You have to wait for the thing to come up. It'll be coming back soon. Man, I wish I got a warning when it freaking cut out, dude. Like, I know it's on Streamlabs on the bottom, but it's not enough for me to actually see. Alright, are we back? Let's try it. Let's refresh. I'm just checking if we're back online. Give us a second. I think my internet cut out for a little bit there. Hopefully it doesn't happen again. I'm not sure if we're back yet. I don't know where you lost me, but at least I was just reading anyway, nothing super exciting. Okay, I think we're back now. Maybe. There we go, okay. Alright, we're back. Sorry about that. Yeah, sorry about that, guys. If you're watching, I was just reading some emails, so nothing like super like crazy, but it's a shame because I had. If anybody's like interested in the law or whatever, and I was going great today in terms of cutting out. So anyway, we should be good. I'll just type in chat. So yeah, I'm just gonna continue. Sorry about that, guys. There's nothing really I can do. It's just fucking internet, shitty internet that I need to get fixed. Right. I don't like the sound of it. So Rami Hassan, I wonder who that is. Is that Rami, like Rami from like, what's it called? Isn't Rami a, there's two Ramis that I know, like, not know in real life, but there's Rami that's friends with different streamers, and he's a game developer. And I think the guy, the ex like developer, lead developer of AC games is Rami Ismail, isn't it? Some shit like that. Anyway, I don't like the sound of any of this, and I don't like where this is leading. Not using phones is not the right way to ease my mind. Have my number, I suggest you call it. Now, I won't say it to our parents for you because doing so would bury me in questions I cannot answer. And to tell father that you no longer work for Abstergo would break his heart. It's all he ever talks about. How his daughter's on the cutting edge of neuroscience. The man doesn't understand the first thing about what you do or did. And he's still proud or not be the one to disappoint him. Is it COVID? Oh my god, it actually mentioning COVID in here. So, dude, it actually isn't not to COVID. That's crazy. The COVID, is that why you're being so cagey? Something else? Call him, call me. Stop using the same game of hiding cigarettes. I want to know that you're safe. It was short of me. I wanted to call, but I'm not using phones right now. My time is limited. I'm still recovering from my trip. Things got out of hand. Nothing when I suspected people got hurt. I thought it was for research, and it was, but not for Abstergo. Truth is, I haven't worked for them for a few years. It's a long story. I won't be bothered with the details, but it wasn't for me. Leave it at that. The group I'm with now, I can't explain, not over email, but they show me things, give me opportunities, and open my eyes to a broader view, but not without cost. In fact, I fucked up last year, bad, more than once, and I need to make it right. Yeah, he killed, what's her name? The doctor. This all sounds cryptic, it is, but I'm not in danger, not in the way you might think. I'm being vague, it's because I need to be. I don't want any data sniffers picking up on keywords that might raise alarms. I sound paranoid a little. Here's the point, don't worry about me, I'm with a couple of people who I trust now. They've been at this a lot longer than I have, and they're going to see me through this. Promise that this time next year things will be better, the skies will be clear, and the earthquakes will stop, and we'll celebrate Ramadan together. We're just like the 90s all over again. Tell Mum and Baba I miss them, and I'm doing fine, your sis. Why is that black though? I don't understand why that's black and the rest are grey. Maybe because it's unknown. I know this is Rami, I don't know. Thanks for clearing up in such profound detail. I'm sure I'll sleep soundly now. I don't have COVID, no, and I'm well isolated. It's just three of us struggling together, staying out of sight. Okay, let's see what other files we got. English locales of note. Assassin periods, like hidden ones, were actually operated in Roman Britain between the year 100 and 430 BC. It's not clear where they left, but the final date corresponds roughly to Roman exodus from Britain. Mission accomplished or loss of faith, not sure. What you know, several hundred years before the hidden ones returned to the island. It may be Basim and Haytham are the first in half a century. Haytham. From my own archives alone, there were 6 main bureaus operating in the Roman period. Okay, Leicester. I don't know what the modern day like cities of these are, but Leicestershire, London, Winchester, York, Essex, Gloucestershire. These won't be the Saxon names, so you'll have to read between the lines. Yeah, I don't know what these are. Winchester, London, New York. I don't know what Essex is either. I'm not familiar with like geography. I know some anomalies. Beck noticed these about 10 embedded in the simulation and then classes of data that may be screwed to your ability to navigate other's memories. Approach with caution. Don't know what they'll do if you get too close. They may be harmless. They may induce occipital shock, whatever that word is. Occipital shock. Yeah, anyway, or wipe your mind. Hard to say. Best to on the side of hell no, but if you're curious, I warned you. Pieces of Eden. Don't know of any issue artifacts you should be looking for specifically, but they're out there, and this was a period where they often cropped up in legend. Norse and Saxon songs and tales speak of them often, so keep your eyes peeled. Especially around Stonehenge. How could that not be an issue site? It's Hastings. Blah 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 blah. Report okay. Transformation of the Order of Ancients into the Templars as we know them today has always been a subject of considerable debate among our ranks. They were operated with the assumption that the Templars themselves held some or complete knowledge of this evolution, but at present, no concrete historical evidence has ever made it into our hands. All the data we know is mostly a matter of public record, with some exceptions. Commonly understood that the original Knights Templar dates back to 1119 CE. This indeed was the appearance of the public face of the Templars. However, our records attest to the existence of Templars. Our records attest to the existence of Templar agents at least 2 centuries before this date. One barely damaged document, an assassin contract from Normandy in the mid-11th century, the author makes free use of the term Templar. An earlier letter, this time from a Hinwan in the region of modern-day Dorset, circa 978 CE, makes mention of a Templar spy within the ranks of the Brotherhood. From this we can safely assume that the Templar Order as an entity distinct from the Order of the Ancients existed at some point in the mid-10th century. Aim to expand our understanding of this dark age, one of our agents recently volunteered to delve into his genetic memories to search for further clues to his age-old mystery. Fortunately, what he discovered was little use for our purposes. Sean Hastings began the first of his 7 sessions on October 5th, 2014. Wow, so 2 years after Desmond, he actually went to the Animus? Over the course of the next 3 weeks, he followed various matrilineal and patrilineal lines into the past, focusing on the 9th, 10th, 11th centuries in search of the assassins or Templars in his bloodline. He found none. Of minor interest, however, was the following personage he noted for the peculiarity of his biography. Ulriker Thorvaldsen, an early 9th century Jute who sailed north from modern-day Denmark with a wooden plank bearing a carving on a map purposed to the mark location of Thor's hammer. Ulriker made as far as Stavanger before running afoul of a powerful clan there. Ulriker was defeated in battle and enrolled as a slave. He escaped captivity 10 years later, returned to Jutland to marry and settled down. The occasion of Ulriker's map is unknown. The existence of Thor's hammer, a precursor relic no doubt, remains unconfirmed. Wow, so there's actually an issue hammer? That's crazy. Ulriker's ancestors later sailed to England following the Normans' conquest on the island, settling in what is now called Loughborough in modern-day Leicester, whatever. Irony, the man named Hastings would contain no useful genetic memory data regarding the Norman invasion of England in 1066, was not lost upon our dear subject. Excuse me. Still, he retained his usual chip of wit and asked if he might next relieve the genetic memories of his grandfather, to quote, giving Nasi a proper bollocking.
I lived, I died, and now I sleep. And in my sleep I dream. And in my dreams I see an end to the doom that will grip the earth once again. Find the wolf-kissed. Find the mad one. Find me. And save us all from another death.
Okay, so this is the guy who tipped us off about Ivor. An unknown source. North of the Arctic Circle. broadcast for 9 days and see spectrum analysis of the message revealed coordinates to a North gravesite in New England. For Layla. Drawn to Layla.
Layla, thought you might be interested in this. Conversations that Bex and I had with Desmond back in 2012. December, I think. Just candid talks, that's all. We didn't square any circles or write any beat poetry. But he did have some interesting insights into his time in the Animus and what it means to be an assassin. Anyway, have a listen. You might find you and he had similar experiences, so, well, let me know what you think. Unless it's to tell me I sound like a total prat in these recordings. If that's the case, just say nothing. I mean, I did have a slight cold at the time I recorded these. That's probably why I sound odd.
Okay, Sean.
Okay, I'm done anyway, so turn off. Turn off. Oh, it's actually just a button. Sorry, here we go.
Bloody Sean, how does he not know? He's too used to futuristic technology.
No, come on, Sean. Turn that thing off.
Oh, hold on. I like what you said there. I want to get this for posterity. Say it again, nice and loud.
Seriously?
Sure, come on. If nothing else, it'll give me leverage with your old man.
Ah, that's your angle. Nice. What I said was, I wish I hadn't been born into the Assassins. I wish I had chosen this life. Is that good enough?
Sure, but why is that?
Because choice is the central idea of our creed. It underpins everything, right? It's about free will. It's about seeing the evidence before you and saying, yes, this is what I want. Or, no, this isn't for me. But when you're born into a group like this, or any other, like I was, you get mixed signals. You get told over and over again, this is what we believe. These are the rules. This is reality. No deviation. And if you question it, oh, they look at you like you killed a puppy. That's hardly free will. It's a weird irony when free will is your central belief, but nobody wants you to believe otherwise. I don't know how to say it exactly, but I always thought there was something self-destructive about our creed. If free will is the most important moral guidepost we have, we should be free to ignore it. To choose submission, for example. You know what I mean? Like, we should be free to side with the Templars. If it's really my choice, I could do that.
Right. It's almost self-refuting. A democracy could democratically elect a dictator or choose to get rid of democracy altogether. Within our creed is the seed of its own destruction. That's what makes it powerful, I think. And fragile.
Right. The more freedom you have, the more risky it is, you know? Anyway, my dad has mellowed over the years, but he was strict when we lived on the farm. He ran a tight ship. I never got the impression that I was free to choose my path forward. Our creed, our tenets, they were drilled into my head. By the time I was a teenager, I was following these rules out of a sense of duty. This was just what we did.
That happens to a lot of organizations over time. A stagnation sets in, you know? A fundamentalism.
Yeah. Following the rules becomes more important than achieving whatever goal you set out for yourself. And people start to lose sight of the reason the rules exist.
That's called deontology, or a form of it. Following a rule for its own sake, and not for the consequences it has.
Yeah, but that feels backwards, doesn't it?
Well, I think so. Following a rule is the easy part. Praying, taking a sip of wine, munching on a wafer. Rituals that give comfort.
But that's just going through the motions. It makes people feel like they're doing something. When the hard work is, well, actually getting off your ass and doing something productive. I think people just want boundaries. Tight boundaries. They want to see the four walls that pen them in.
I don't disagree.
Anything outside that, anything that makes life more complex, that's scary. That's why I envy you. You chose this life. You went through that process and you decided, yes, I believe in this.
Sure. It didn't stop me from being an insufferable know-it-all as a teenager, but I see your point.
I would have loved to have been a know-it-all. I knew nothing. Not until you guys found me. Yeah. It wasn't until I met you, and Bex and Lucy, that I knew. I knew I wanted to be an assassin.
Oh, thanks, Des. Come here. Bring it in, bud. I don't normally like touching, but we'll make an exception now.
I am not hugging you.
You sure? Because I smell very nice today.
Can you just turn that off?
That's an interesting recording, dude. Very interesting.
Hold on, I'll just set this here.
Do you guys record everything we talk about?
Not everything, but you've been using the Animus so much, I thought this was a good chance to learn some things about prolonged exposure.
So I'm your guinea pig.
No, my guinea pigs are all dead. The Animus was too much for them to handle.
Cute.
Can I ask you about the bleeding effect? Any recent flashes? Any memories resurfacing?
Yeah, the usual things. Ghost images of Altair and Ezio a few times a day. Nothing intrusive, just brief moments. They pass quickly, almost without me noticing. Like a figure in the corner of my eye. Or remembering a dream from the night before. I did have one extended hallucination a few days ago. It was Ezio. He was older, around the time he left Cappadocia. He was standing on the deck of a ship, alone. And through him, I could feel an intense regret or guilt. And it felt to me like he'd had a loss of faith in himself, in the creed, like he couldn't keep it up, couldn't stay true to his ideals. And as I watched him, I thought, is this the moment he decided he was done being an assassin? It felt like it. Anyway, most of my visions have been brief, lasting just a few seconds. They're like complete memories of small moments that appear suddenly out of nowhere, fully formed. It's a strange feeling.
Okay, anything else?
I'm starting to see Connor now, too. Though I hear his voice more often than I see him. I'm sure that will change. Oh, yeah, and yesterday, just before bed, I had a memory of being on a beach in the Caribbean with a bunch of sailors. Or maybe they were pirates. I don't know. No idea.
Huh, we'll look into that. And how do you feel in general?
In general?
Edward.
Well, I feel older, for one. Much older. And it's strangely comforting. I'm collecting the memories and skills and thoughts of so many people. I feel like I've lived a few hundred years or more. Is it possible that if I do this for too long, it'll push my own memories aside? That I'll be everyone but myself after a while?
It's possible. That's called identity substitution. It's happened before, but it's rare. And someone with your background shouldn't need to worry.
My background? You mean someone with my genes? My abilities?
You have Isu DNA, and that lets you see things and do things and withstand traumas that other people can't.
And I can suffer in ways that others can't. That's not something to be proud of.
You mean the apple?
Yeah. It has a pull, Bex. It tugs at my brain. It talks to me. Teases me. Drives me mad. And what I did to Lucy. God damn it. Nothing is worth the damage I did. The pain I caused.
I know. But you're special. That's the point.
I'm not special, Bex. I'm lucky. That's all.
I understand.
We're assassins. It's our creed that makes us different, not our genes, not our blood. Anyone can join us.
That's true. But let's leave that aside for a second. What I want to know is, have you ever had any Isu memories resurface?
Isu memories? I don't think so. I can't even begin to imagine what that would feel like.
I think you'd know if you did. Maybe one day. We might be able to induce something.
Jesus, let's fix the world first, okay? Before we start digging up my ancient ancestors.
Deal.
With my luck, I'll be related to some third-rate Isu like Sisyphus or something.
Way to aim high, buddy.
Hey, you gotta.
Internet fucking cut out again. There goes anyone who was in my stream who was having a good time. Now with 2 in a row. I'm just going to continue reading this stuff, since it's probably not very interesting. Oh man, there's so much things to fucking read. Holy shit. Review logs from my time at Bayak and came across some old notes. In the years I explored, Cleopatra's Aegis stumbled across 6 Isu temples, many of which were buried beneath tomb sites. Each temple contained an Isu message, clearly meant for one's ability to regenerate memories. I was a lucky one. Don't believe they were intended for Bayak himself, as he seemed wholly unaware of the messages as they played. Maybe encoded in a way that only someone with an animus could see them. It's been a few years since I heard these messages. Memory is foggy, but the notes I scribbled down have clarity that I trust. Might be something to all this, I don't know. Often I grasp at some of my area of expertise. I'm enthusiastic but often wrong. Let me know if something else strikes you. Layers upon layers of reality, each blurring into the next, which is real, which is not. What if none are real? What if everything you know is fake? We ran out of thousands of simulations, searching for the right. Searching for the right version, searching for Desmond. Each of them felt real, but there's no way of truly knowing, is there? Not for sure. Anything can be simulated, and finding the answer could mean erasure. Teasing the assassin maximum, nothing is true. Must be careful not to confuse truth with facts. However, a language game you will always lose, though we may someday now attempt to interpret it. The world is always out there, I believe. Simulated or no. We could remain a dozen necessary simulations, each one on the level of itself. Could constitute full reality. Wolfram via Conway suggests the universe is a giant cellular automata. Further, there is a point where the difference between simulated and real is meaningless. The universe were a simulation, what would it matter? The simulation core simulation itself would be real, therefore everything within it would be real within the confines of the simulation. They are scientists were unable to simulate pain by reducing only a few neurons to fire, no physical harm. I'm in pain, the subject says. No, you only believe you are, says the scientist. This is meaningless, as is, you thought you were in pain, but you were mistaken. This is some of the stuff from Roads of the Odyssey. I'm just gonna read. I'll read out loud, but it's kind of tiring. I'll read out like the important stuff. One cannot speak. One cannot conceive. The code equations that define life. That are deep within every star, every dust. Everything in the world is a simple language existing within the framework of time. One rule applies to us all, immutable, inescapable. We know this: humans are instruments of an earlier species, the Isu. Resist the temptation to stay superior, but different. They are better suited to some tasks, ill-suited for others, possessed of a mind that we cannot know. What does that not get us anywhere? What it's like to be an Isu? What is it like to be a bat? The Isu could read time is interesting, but if humans could read time, wouldn't necessarily be in the same manner and for the same purpose. Whether constructed or evolved, or a little bit of both, we cannot be said to be being built to achieve the same ends. Around disc on its edge is a wheel, on its side a plate. How can we use something that often determines its value and its perceived purpose? Yeah, so it's basically saying like, if the humans were to read time, would we be able to read time in the same way and the same, you know, effectively? Break the code, the walls tell us a tragic story, transcribing our structures on our artifact story we cannot alter. Bang us in plain sight. Scholars, poets, scientists, physicists, bright minds, rebellious hearts. They all tried so hard to bring about change, they all failed. None could change what we discovered. Stories are written in the walls and the rooms. The reader has no power but an observer. But the author invents the future. The author owns the future. Alright, I think stream's back up now. Toby catastrophe. A super volcanic event paired with the mass coronal ejection was the beginning of the end for the Isu. I lost my place. It changes Earth's environment, lowered its oxygen levels, stuffed things up. The issue never recovered. By our estimations, the remaining issue died a century after the catastrophe. From that point onwards, humans ruled the world. Disaster was not unforeseen. Issue scientists known about the doom for years before it even occurred. They worked feverishly to find solutions. They tried 6 methods, but due to a toxic combination of hubris, political infighting, and bad luck, all 6 failed. The final method proved the most promising and was nearly complete when the tragedy struck. It was this method that Desmond Miles revived when he saved the world from a second solar flare in December 2012. I wish we could get more details of that method, dude. Come on. I guess it's like self-explanatory. Like increase the electric fucking thing of the world, whatever. The magnetic force, or whatever the hell that freaking word is. I can't really think about it right now. The magnetic field. There we go. Voice laments the apparent failure of their species, say to themselves, the truth is broader than they. With Desmond save us, success deferred. When this message break the code, break the node, and system, very puzzling. Linear continuity is a simulation that allows for variations. And within the continuity, there are nodes, choke points, moments where algorithms converge, possibilities of single moments where absolute truth is possible. Paths are fluid, continuous, nodes are static and unchanging. Wave function collapses, passes to nodes which branch out again and again. And you feel the wave. Desmond's act of defiance. The incoming node needs the world to end. Algorithms have been carving the flow of possibility towards the end for over 100 years now. Collapse the wave. Outside of my area of expertise, but I must contact someone who knows this shit better. What it seems to be saying, the structure of space-time in the universe is built in such a way that certain events or clusters of events are compelled to occur. A bottleneck through which space-time flows, and one clearly impossible to avoid. There is something about this catastrophe, the one Desmond averted in 2012, that compels it to return. Indifferent from fear or pain, as a tidal wave probably across the sea of space to crash once again, but the sea roars back for another strike, another and another. Give some clarity to what is happening now all around us, but it remains unclear how to change it, especially from within an animus, simulation within a simulation. So basically, it's basically the world's like fate, or like whatever the algorithm is for the cosmos. It bottlenecks at a point where things occur a certain way and it's hard to change it. So now the universe is trying to correct itself when it should have been destroyed, and now that we averted it in 2012, it's like back again, and it's trying to destroy itself again, or these events are trying to occur, so it's hard to change. What can we do really? Reality is a mathematical model which gets solved over and over again by an observer. Renders world for you to call your own. Not all processes are alike. Different brains are different realities. Variations go from subtle to drastic. Your mind defines how much you can taste, how much you can feel, how much you understand. The perception defines perspective. Perceive what you need to, neither more nor less. Perceive time you prefer to remain blind, and what is necessity. If we can subtly, quote, see time, that would not guarantee the same perception that Isu possessed. That's true. Let us speak of time as an entity, if we may. Let us say that time is a perceivable fact. Some way that light is perceivable fact. Ability to see this fact is no way guaranteed a sympathetic view. There are creatures somewhere around this earth that read light differently than we do. That's true, like bats. And for different purposes, humans see in a well-known spectrum. Roy G. BIV, whatever that means. Sense of colour is confined to 3 cones we possess, yet nocturnal creatures see with a different scope for a different purpose. Night stalking, hunting, lurking. They evolved in concert with their needs and are now constrained by them as we are. Light is only a fact seen as askance and used differently by different species. To suggest that we might read time is to imply we have a specific use for time. So it's the theory that if we are to see and perceive time, we will perceive and understand it in a way that we need to, or that whatever we will use time for, or whatever humans have a specific use for time, is how we would perceive it. And the Isu perceive time in a specific way that they need to as well. That's the last one? No. Next chapter is unstoppable. The greatest revelations originate from the confines of impossibility, do they not? Reality is a simulation. Break the code, in so doing escape the inescapable. Animus was humankind's first unconscious attempt to explain what it cannot see. Understanding memories and history. Your animus is different. As in the mind that imagined that it could escape the code. It could make the leap that make possible a decision that defines the order of things that are. It is ridiculous to imagine that I could change the nature of our reality out there from within the confines of an animus. Simulation within this so-called simulation. I believe I understand what this voice is telling me. My animus is endowed with the ability to suggest alterations to days long past. From any moment in time, I can extrapolate what might have been. Calculations of time, I am not confined to what was or what could have been. Yes, history is real, facts do matter. But from any moment in time I choose within the animus, I can interrogate the memory, I can ask the world what if. What if Bayek and Aya had stayed together? What if Kemu had not been murdered? I can suggest these hypotheticals and watch how they unfold. Why would I want to? For knowledge, for a better understanding of what tragedies were avoided. Remains to be seen. I am in a sense a reader of the calculations, as the Isu were in days past. Perhaps one day I will be able to harness the talent to see into the future, to predict, to correct, to avoid. That would be worth something. So, from this last message, I'm confused on two things. Either one, her animus can in a way alter the past, and she could see the future in the simulation, in the sense. So I'm not sure if she chooses a different option, and she sees that future, and it, you know, the timeline diverges. Can she only see that in the animus, that simulation, or does it change real world events as well? What I think is happening here on this message is that she can change the past in the animus, but what she says and what she does and what happens in an alternate timeline, or whether she does this or does not, or whatever happens, doesn't actually happen in real life. It happens in the animus, and the animus simulates somehow. The animus simulates a second timeline, which is the second simulation, which is a simulation in a simulation. So it's the animus simulates a second simulation that's not true from the history, and it simulates what could have been and how the world or how the time would have gone if that decision was made. And by doing so, she can see how that future would have unfolded, and maybe by reading what would it have changed, you know, by reading what decision, what would have made, what would have changed, maybe she can use that to better predict and better read, you know, like a math algorithm, and better predict the future, or better predict what decisions that she would make in real life, how would that affect the future in real life outside the animus. So she can basically alter the future by her decisions in the present, not so much that see the future, but see, if I make this decision, this and this and this would happen, but if I make that decision, that and that and that would happen, and she can sort of like foresee like what could happen through maybe experience or maybe understanding somehow. Not really sure, but that's my like understanding, that it doesn't actually change the past, but she can see a different future or a different past, a different timeline to the animus somehow. But it doesn't actually change anything in the real world. It's not like the ripple effect where you change something in the past and the future is drastically changed. Nothing is changing at all. It's just she's experiencing something different within the animus, which is basically a fake world. Because the animus is like conjuring like the geography and the people and all that through the memories. So essentially it's Animus is creating like another world through like data. Acquired from the Eagle Bearer Cassandra. Just so I'm talking about the staff now. Staff is one of many Izu staffs known to us. The second one will be the one from Monterey, no, not Monterey, the Vatican in the AC Brotherhood, I think, or AC2. First and foremost, a medical device with the ability to heal, repair, and restore regenerative organic tissues with the unprecedented swiftness. So it's kind of like a shroud, or maybe even better. It's been known to extend life of its bearers well beyond average human and AC lifespans, as we know. Has the ability to resuscitate living creatures in critical or suspended states. Not been verified. The staff has the ability to resurrect the dead, but it seems unlikely based on its known features. It appears to work by reading and copying its bearer's DNA to ensure perfect replication on a broad scale. It's able to detect erroneous copies and deploy repairs so long as its bearer remains within direct contact. So basically, you can almost cure cancer, in a sense, right? Is cancer tied to DNA or not? But in that sense, it basically copies the DNA, and like whenever something bad happens, it cuts it out and pastes the copy in there. Like paste the correct DNA or a copy of the DNA in there. The issue with that is, no, the DNA won't change. My concern is that the issue with that is, if you copy something from a certain point and you change, let's just say you copy your mind, let's just say in theory, to understand my metaphor here, if you copy your mind from when you're 10 years old, and then when you're 40 you have an accident and you erase your memory and you paste your mind from when you're 10 years old, you essentially be a 10-year-old person in a 40-year-old body. So all your experiences from 30 years will be not there. So, I wonder how that works in a DNA sense. Does that method apply, or not? Been used as a weapon, possibly taking advantage of tremendous power draws from Isu's wireless energy lattice. Not sure what that is, but I'd like to know more. Staff has also acted as a conduit, container for a personality called Alethea. The Isu, right, from Fate of Atlantis. It's not known if this personality It is not known if this personality is Alethea's original consciousness or a simulation of the original. That's correct. We don't know if she's actually in the staff or if it's just a copy. Though most neuroscientists would call this a distinction without a difference. That's also true. What's the difference between a copy and original, if they're exactly the same? As of 2019, the entity known as Alethea has made no further attempts to contact me. Okay, so she's gone dark. As yet, my purpose as a so-called heir of memories, as Alethea dubbed me, remains unclear. Known bearers: Hermes, Trismegistus, Pythagoras, and now Cassandra, and now Layla, I guess. I don't know what secure share is. That's nothing. My stuff. Pictures. Drawn. Beck to Animus and the place we're at. Dude, look at the sky, dude. It's crazy. That's the body and the side. Okay. What's in the trash? Oh, it's so Berg interrogation. Here we go. Oh, file corrupted. Fuck. That sucks balls, man. Because we don't know if he's dead or not. I think he's paralyzed now, actually. Letter to Victoria Bibos. What? I can't tell what it means. Oh, yes. Victoria Bebo was the person she killed. The friend. My name is Layla. Mr. and Mrs. Wait, no, Mr. and Madame Bibo. Bibu, whatever. My name is Layla. I was a friend and colleague of Victoria's, both of Stogo and of subsequent freelance careers. And all the time I knew was working with your daughter, I was struck by her limitless intelligence and humour and her ability to focus, even in times of great stress. She was an inspiration, not just to me, but all those who work with her. Writing to you now with the hopes of shedding some light on circumstances of her death, I realize it must be strange to receive a letter out of the blue from someone whose name you have probably never heard. Offering to explain the tragic loss of one so dear, but if you'll allow me, I will try. I was with your daughter in the moments leading up to... God. I'm not trying to fucking fool anyone, to get out of here. Fucking bots, man, in chat. I was with your daughter in the moments leading up to her unfortunate incident that took her life. In fact, I'm partly to blame for... And it's just nothing. I guess she's overcome with guilt and she didn't want to continue, so she didn't do that anymore.
Feeling okay?
Better. But I'm worried that it could happen again. The 2 data streams.
I can't promise it won't. I barely understand it myself.
It felt like 2 minds, fighting over 1 brain. It hurt like a shotgun to the head.
Right. There's something about this Vikings DNA sample that feels dense, noisy.
Could it be the staff? Interfering somehow?
How do you mean?
My headaches, my temper. They started the day I got that thing.
I hope you're not making excuses for, you know, your friend.
Jesus, no. I'm not.
Sorry. Just take it easy. And if you feel yourself slipping again, let us know.
I'm trying. I really am.
I wonder if the reason why there's 2 personalities... I mean, like, my theories right now are...
Be nice to sleep in a real bed when this is over.
My theories right now are he or she has a double personality, and he has a male and a female side. 2, he had like a trans mind where he was a male but felt like a female, or a female that felt like a male, and thus it's kind of neutral, kind of like 2 in 1. Or 3, that maybe there's some sort of like, you know, sibling that died during birth or something like that, and like their minds crossed. Maybe there was like a twin. Maybe there was like some sort of twin and they died. And
Sean, don't forget to water the plants while I'm under, okay?
there's like a twin and they died, and somehow their memory
Tattoo it on
got
my leg.
like their memory got intertwined or some shit like that. Maybe, you know how like that kind of story trope.
I went through hell to bring you here. It had better be worth it. That's quite nice. Soothing. Sean has been busy.
We had a statement from unknown location to unencrypted servers. Nothing was stolen. Nothing crowded. Just a quick deposit and gone. What a luck at this time. Pretty sound file. Voice unknown. A signal beneath the signal was code. That's the precise spot here in New England. We dug and good luck we struck gold. It was a grave site in North Warrior dating to the late 9th century, early 10th century AD, a few centuries before the earliest known settlements. Big news, we have it right. How did these bones get here? Why? And I also want to know who the person was. Anonymous tip.
You mind if I put some music on?
Go for it.
Cool.
Right, is there anything else? I want to explore. I know we're on time, and I promise we get to sentiment, and we will, even if we go over. I want to explore outside here. I guess the fence is the boundary. I want to make sure there's nothing that I missed. This is the view. Can we stack rocks here? No. Can't even go over that. Okay. Now, can I go up here, or is there a limit? I want to see if I can go to that satellite.
Layla, you can't run away from this.
Okay, I can't. Dude, wouldn't it have been so cool if the satellite freaking, like, I can actually go there when the satellite come down? I go in there. This is this, like this. Like, whose home was this? even? Like a cottage out in the woods? Like, how did this happen? Who made this? I can't like, I don't think it was Ivor, like, in his final days. Or
I should do this more often.
in he or she's final days,
Relax.
like, this is where she, like, this is where, like, her final moments where she decided to, you know, let it all go and have a peaceful life. And pass away here. Maybe that's what this is, maybe not. It's kind of built like, kind of modernly, like, I mean, anyone can do, I mean, it's built old, actually, well, really, but with the logs and stuff, but what I'm saying is, like, there's glass, see? But that could have been put in later. Like, the roof is tin. Like, it couldn't have been done in the Viking era.
Let's have a look.
Whatever, like, years later. Now, I hope we get male Ivor now. I hope every time we come in and out of this, we change the gender.
All right, time to go. Norway to England takes about a week by long ship, so I'll scrub ahead.
He kind of looks a little wrecked, like with her hair and shit.
Layla, you okay?
Sorry. Can you play the message again?
We have the transcript. If you're looking for something, I can go
No,
and...
I want to hear it.
Okay.
I don't mean to be cryptic. It's just... that message led us here. To this place. To a Norse grave in North America. So those bones out there are the only lead we have. Our only chance at fixing this planet before it's too late.
Here it is.
I lived, I died, and now I sleep. And in my sleep I dream. And in my dreams I see an end to the doom that will grip the earth once again. Find the wolf-kissed. Find the mad one. Find me. And save us all from another death.
Unsettling, that is.
That pulse in the message. Are you sure it's just coordinates? Nothing else?
Nothing I can find.
That's how they got the
Okay.
coordinates, huh?
I'm ready.
It's so
go.
it's so cryptic. Like, I lived, I died, and now I sleep. Find wolf-kissed, find the mad one, find me. Like, surely he's not another person like Cassandra that lived fucking thousands of years. Like, that would just be too much, you know, 2 in a row.
There she is. England, our new home.
Not a patch on Norway, but we'll make this land our own soon enough.
I'm glad to see any land at all.
Mr. Murr, how you going? How's it going?
On solid ground again.
We're
Must
robbing
not
England,
rush
buddy.
our landing. All you see here is Saxon territory. The Kingdom of Mercia, largely unpacified. There will be eyes watching us from the trees, with bows drawn and traps set. We must be wary. Randvi, take in your oars, all standing.
Have you spotted something?
Not yet. But let us go ahead to clear the path of any dangers. Then follow our lead when the sun brushes the horizon.
Understood. May Thor bless you all on your way. We will see you soon.
Sail on.
Yes, I'm ready for whatever these green-thumbed fairy folk have to throw at us.
Sigurd, do the sons of Ragnar know that we're coming?
They do not, but they will not scoff at our visit. Of the 4 kingdoms in England, the sons of Ragnar have settled only one. The rest is ripe for the taking.
Do
Sorry
we
if I'm not
mean
talking,
to
I'm
join
paying
their
attention.
army?
No, no. We will speak with them, get the lay of the land, and carve this country into as many pieces as we see fit.
Look ahead there. Is that what passes for a town? plain brick in a single rune to their timid god?
That rune is called a root, Doug. The cross upon which their god was sacrificed. It sits atop a monastery, a place of worship.
That cross killed their Christ, and now they display it in worship? Bizarre.
We carve idols of our gods and make wishes before them. Like our sacrifices to Odin, the One-Eyed.
But we do not worship the wolf that kills him. That is the difference.
Whatever strangeness we see in these Saxons, they must think the same of us.
The hammer! Now there is a symbol worthy of a god. A bolt of lightning would take that cross clean off.
You got really bored in this part, like because of all the talking, or talking about like the next few missions? Each half-done settlement, half-done the black. It's one road home.
Look there! What are they doing?
Oh,
Ritual
people.
drowning.
Baptism,
Yeah, they're
Doug.
baptizing, yeah.
Are the ways of Christians really so unfamiliar to me?
Not at all. I simply forgot. Someone has to keep the conversation up. It must be priests and worshippers alone in that place. We can storm this port with ease. Sack it without breaking a sweat.
Is there much in the way of treasure there?
Always! They shape precious metals and cut jewels to their gods. There will be a fortune there.
Later, Doug. There will be time enough for raiding once we have settled.
Well, man, I've seen two flags, the cross and the black one earlier, the wolf. Well, not wolf, but it looks like a skull.
Over there. The way forward is blocked by a chain spanning the river. We must remove it before passing on.
A chain? Can we cut through it?
It's too thick for access. But there must be a way to release it somewhere in that camp.
I will go.
And I will be right behind you.
No, Dag. You stay here. Should trouble come our way, I want you defending the ship.
Because I'm doing nothing,
idea.
takes long, yeah.
Send out the arrow and keep your sharpest axe at hand, huh?
I don't mind it.
Something like that.
You should have seen what I was doing earlier, Mr. Mel. I was reading the all the mail and stuff from the outside the Animus. I don't know about you, but I really like the lore, and even though like reading is tedious and annoying to me, but I read it anyway. And reading it was like really interesting
Must
about
be careful now.
like the next like catastrophe that's gonna happen. Talking about like if humans got the ability to see time like the Isu did, and shit like that. It's really interesting stuff, and it was like even stuff from Desmond that was in there. Dude, the Spirit Beast. Now, I'm pretty sure I have double assassination, right? Yeah, I do. I have chain assassinations. So I want to do that here. Well, I fucked up. Let's see if we can reset this. Hang on. Now, if I do that,
What's that about?
Kick finesse there.
Stuck in the stack, are ya?
oh, that's awesome. Oh! Dude, he had to move, man. Perfect timing. Perfect timing. You know what I do? You know what? Oh, fuck this one. Shit. I wanted to go from up here. Oh, I can. Oh my god. Sick. yes, and there's a friggin' knockdown with the spear. It's sick. I love that, man. I really enjoy like